What's going on, everybody? Back at the range, picked up a new firearm, so I'm gonna do a little bit of plinking. Actually gonna see how I am on the scope. Not much of a scope shooter, but I'll just show you here what I got set up. Flip this camera. So right now I've got markers from 10 yards up to 30 yards. Every 5 yards I've got a marker. Basically what I'm doing is kind of getting some practice in before I try one of the NRL22 matches that they have here at the Temple Gun Club. So give me a minute, get up to the gun. We'll go over that for a little bit, and then we'll do some shooting. There she is, Ruger Precision Rimfire. I got it in 22 long rifle because NRL doesn't allow the 17 HMR, so it's got to be 22 long rifle. So that's the one I picked up. Also go over some of the gear I got for the match. We'll start here at the muzzle, go down the back. I'm not going to go into great detail because there's a lot of videos out there. Just kind of an overview of what I've got. I have taken this out. Probably put a little over 300 rounds through it already, and today I'm just gonna kind of tighten up and see how my groups look. There's the target. I've got right now 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35 yard targets up there, and I'm gonna go out to 50 and then maybe come back another time depending on how I'm feeling, and then go out to 100. All right, so starting at the muzzle. So I haven't done really any changes to it other than the scope and the bipod. Those are items that I've already had. I didn't buy those recently, had them for a while. So at the muzzle, it is a threaded barrel, so it does come with a thread protector. Got the M-Lock hand guard. It's pretty nice. Only issue I have with it, it is a floating barrel, but the only issue I have, and I'll look from the front, and just so everybody doesn't freak out, we are unloaded, nothing's in there, no magazine. All right, so let's get back to it since I just flagged myself. All right, so again, thread protector. What I've added, the only thing that I've really had to purchase besides a couple magazines, is the little Picatinny reel M-Lock, and that was just for the bipod there. Had that bipod for years, so figured I'd use it. So back to the issue that I had, sorry. So if you look straight down, I don't know if I can get a good picture of this, but the hand guard isn't quite even top to bottom. And I've tried multiple times, take it off, even it out, but it seems like every time I tighten the screws, it just goes back into the same spot. It's not a big deal because it's not touching the barrel, so it's not affecting any of the accuracy. All right, the scope, it's a cheap scope. I've had this scope probably at least 7 years, maybe longer. It's a Tasco 6-24 by 46. It's got a mil dot reticle. Not the best thing. I don't even think I paid $100 for this. Decided not to buy an expensive scope yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to do NRL22 for a long time. So we'll see. If I like it, I might go ahead and invest. If not, I'll leave it as it is. I did have to put the 1-inch rings on there, the 1-inch high rings, because it is really close to the hand guard. The rings that it had on there, it would not go on. So there you have your fire and safe, kind of an AR style pistol grip. What I like about the bolt is that it has a clip on it, and the clip allows you to go from a long pull to a short pull. So if you want to shoot at 22 style, that's fine. But if you're practicing for centerfire precision matches, then you can put it to the long pull, and then it matches the centerfire Ruger precision rifle. Right there you have your release for the bolt. Stock is pretty nice. It's adjustable, both length of pull and your cheek weld. Some of the other things I picked up for the match, these you probably already seen, the Caldwell bags. They kind of recommend bags for the match. I wasn't real sure what to get, so I just got something that that was kind of universal style bags. Also, it comes with a 15-round magazine. I picked up a couple of 10-round magazines, and today this is what I'm shooting: the Gila 38 grain and 40 grain, the super extra. The 38 grains are hollow points, the 40 grains are round nose. So we'll see what kind of accuracy we get, see what I can hit. I mean, I'm on a 3-inch target at 100 yards. I've done that, but with NRL22, the targets are a little bit smaller and the ranges vary, so that's why I'm just kind of going 5-yard increments, just to see if I can hit the 3-inch target from multiple distances. Then I'll feel comfortable shooting a match. But there it is again. I like the rifle. I may, again, depending on how much I like the NRL22, I may graduate up to the centerfire matches, pick me up the centerfire rifle from Ruger. Personally, I like it. I've heard some people don't like it. They think it's ugly. Oh well. All right, let's go ahead and get some shooting done. All right, so I'm starting off at 10 yards. So on the targets, the top target is the 38 grain, bottom target's 40 grain. Basically what I did, put 5 rounds of each in the magazine. Another thing about the scope that I didn't mention is probably why it's not the best scope for NRL22. You got your zoom here from 6 to 24. But then you also have a focus at the front. So as you move in on the target, then you have to change your focus. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to take notes and see where on the mil dot reticle I need to hold for each distance, and then what setting I need to make on both the zoom and the focus, so that when I'm at the match and it's coming up on my turn to shoot, I can go ahead and preset them up. All right, let's go ahead and get started, see where we're at. Another thing I got to work on doing is, as I'm working the bolt, not to bring my head up to look at the target. That's just something that I'm used to. And I'm trying to get used to having my thumb on the outside of the grip so that it's easier to just come up, rack the bolt, and continue on firing. All right. So that was 5 rounds on each. Group's pretty tight, but again, it's 10 yards. So I'll throw up some pictures of each target, and I won't bore you with every single shot that I take. Essentially, I'll just go from distance to distance and just pop on the camera and tell you where I'm at. All right, so I'm at 15 yards now. The 10 yards, both the 38 and 40 grain hold on the same spot. Pretty much got the same group, so we'll see what we get with 15. All right, that was the 10 round magazine, worked fine. So essentially, when I take the pictures, you'll see one shot so far on the targets that is way off, and that's because on the first, at 10 yards, I held on 0 to see where it was at. Then I adjusted. At 15 yards, I held on where I was holding with the 10 yard, and then adjusted from there. And I'll keep doing that as I go from target to target. I'm at 20 yards, and I had to adjust bags. So that's I guess that's a good thing, because then I get kind of used to using the bags. I got one here. The table is not super sturdy, which is kind of good practice, I guess, to help me with keeping the reticle on target. So we'll try from 20 yards and see what happens. All right, so far I'm within the center of the target. I had one flyer on with the 40 grain. All right, we'll keep moving on. All right, at the 25 yard, going back to the 15 round magazine, just kind of alternating magazines, and had another bag adjustment. So let's see where we're at. Not the best, but it's getting a little wobbly. Just something I'm gonna have to work on. Had 2 flyers on that one. That was on me though. 25 yards, I did have to make a slight adjustment on the focus. So we'll move on back to 30. All right, this is 30 yards. Didn't have to make any adjustments on the focus. Still haven't had to. It's still on 6 power, so I still hadn't had to go up on that, and we'll see. Lifted my head up. Still hitting pretty center on the target. Groups are opening up, but if I can hit 1 inch target, because some of the steel in NRL22 is like an inch, inch and a half, as the distances get further. As long as I can hit it, I'll be happy. All right, 35 yards. I had to make another slight adjustment on the focus. Still have not had to do anything with the power. Still on the lowest power 6. See what we get. That target does not look good. I don't know if it's the wind or the ammo, but we'll see on the next 5. All right, I guess it's the ammo. I was holding, the elevation was good. I was holding on 0, but windage I had to hold slightly to the left between the crosshair and the first mill dot to the right, almost dead center, and got pretty good groups. All right, so I've got to put up some new targets, so I figured I'd go ahead and just, instead of taking pictures, I'll just show this. So 10 yards with the 38 grain, 10 yards with the 40, there's 15 yards, and we got 20, 25, and then 30, and 35. So again, I don't have any training on a scope, precision shooting. That's just me just trying. All right, let me put up some new targets and we'll continue out to 50. All right, I'm at 40 yards. I did raise the power to 12. Did a little adjustment on the focus and slight adjustment on the bag. So I've got it resting on the tripod, resting on the bag. That's kind of giving me a good sight picture. Gotta stop raising my head. For some reason on that second set I was struggling to keep the reticle from moving around, so that was not a good group. All right, 45 yards. See where we're at. Still on target. Not the best groups. Looks like I'm getting better groups with the 36 grain than I am with the 40. Let's move it on back to 50. All right, so I forgot to hit record at the 50-yard line, so we'll just show you the targets and I'll talk about what I did at 50. So there's 40 yards. Not too bad. 40 yards here. See, I got one a little high. 45 yards. For the 36 grain at 40, 45, and 50, I had to hold, it was 0 elevation, but slightly right to the right for windage. 50 yard, it was a little bit more dramatic. I had to hold to the first mill dot on the right. As you can see, that first shot is way off to the right. And then with the 40 grain, it was more, and that's this target here, it was pretty much 0 elevation and windage, because that's the first shot. I was holding to the right like I was with the 38 grain. And then once I was holding 0, that's where I got the rest. Alrighty, I need to continue on up to 100 yards, see how we do there. Alright, so I'm at another part of the range. This is the 100 yard. I'll try to zoom in, but I have a target at 75, and then I have the 100 yard. And now that I'm looking at it, I might go ahead and move that 75 over a little bit. But I'm going to try 75 yards and 100 yards with both the 38 grain and the 40 grain. All right, so I'm going to be shooting at 75 yards. For 75 and 100, I have an 8-inch target to just to kind of see where I'm at, and then I've got the 2 3-inch targets. So I'm going to start with 75 and then move up to 100. We'll see what happens. I did adjust the power all the way to 24 and then adjusted the focus based on that, and I can see both the 75 and 100 clearly, so I only have to do the one adjustment. So it looks like with the 38 grain, I've got to hold 3 mils up, 2 mils to the right. With the 40 grain, the windage is fine. I just have to hold 3 mils up for elevation. All right, let's try the 3-inch target, see if I can hit it. So correction on the 38 grain, it's 4 mils up and 2 to the right. And that was almost a bullseye. Let's see the 40 grain. You have 3 on. I don't know if it's this ammo. Might be me. But I'm going to try again at 75. Might have to get different ammo. Alright, we're going to try 10 more at 75. Here we go, 100 yards. All right, so some people started showing up to the range, so I thought I'd show them a little respect and just continue recording afterwards after I did the shooting. So this is from 75 yards. Not totally great, but I was able to kind of use this target to dial in a little bit. Essentially, on the 3-inch target, that's an 8-inch target. On the 3-inch target, a little bit better with the 38 grain. I actually had to hold, so my reticle has 4 dots going up, down, left, and right, and then there's an arrow after the last dot, so it'd be kind of considered the 5th dot. So essentially, I was holding about here, which was about 1.5, 2 dots, and then on the 5th dot, or the arrow on the reticle, and I was getting them in here, a couple flyers. With the 40 grain, I didn't have to hold over. I was actually holding same elevation, just the windage I was holding on, and you can see within a 3-inch target, 100 yards, or sorry, 75 yards. Not too bad. I mean, it's not the greatest. Could be, you know, it was a little windy today. Could be the ammo. Definitely me. So, because I'm not a sharpshooter or a sniper, whatever you want to call it. For 100 yards, did a little bit better. So once I was getting kind of the holdover, and it's kind of holding at the same spot at 100 yards. Got a little bit more on this target. The 38 grain were kind of flying a lot. I could actually see it in the scope as they arc. So didn't get quite as many on target as I was hoping for. Same with the 40 grain. You can see there, had one go here, a couple down here. So I guess not too terrible on a 3-inch target. It's just it is what it is with the scope that I have and the ammo that I'm using. So we'll see how whenever I decide to do one of the 22 matches, the NRL22 match, I'll see if I can get some video of that. All right, you guys take care.